What's up, YouTube? Ryan back today with the Week 12 minor league recap. Let's go. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Another great week in the minor league season. We're going to jump into it pretty quick here today. I am on a little bit of a crunch time schedule, but we did have some really great performances today. We also had some pretty rough performances, so you're going to see some numbers jump up, especially those OPS numbers this week. So you're going to see some a little lower than normal that I put on the video, and you're going to see some that are way up there. So super excited to jump into it. We do have one player in rookie ball this week we're going to talk about, and we're going to jump into that right now. All right, the one player we're talking about today in rookie ball is Hernandez. He is the only top 100 prospect at rookie ball, and this week he did really well. Over 5 games, hit .412 with a .474 on base percentage, only an .886 OPS, but you know, OPS doesn't always tell all the stories of the minor leagues. Didn't have any extra base hits, but he did have 7 hits in 5 games. He had 3 RBIs and walked twice on top of that, so definitely worth noting. Let's jump into low A. All right, the first player we're talking about at low A, and I will say this is probably one of the best low A performing weeks we've had all year. Harry Ford for the Seattle Mariners. He was the 12th overall pick in the 2021 MLB draft. Over 4 games, so only played 4 games this week, but he still hit .333 with a .353 on base percentage, .1020 OPS because he had a triple and 3 doubles. He also had 5 hits over 4 games this week, 2 RBIs, walked once, and stole a base. Absolutely love Harry Ford. Honestly, starting to grow on me a lot as he's starting to pick it up. Started off the season super slow. His OPS just hit over 800 for the season now. He's definitely starting to figure it out. I think he's up to about 250 batting average, so he's getting there. He's super athletic. Love Harry Ford. Next up, Jordan Lawler returned to low A this week. Only played 2 games at low A, 2 games at rookie ball, 2 games at low A. So I throw him back at low A. Over 4 games, .357 batting average, .412 on base percentage, .1055 OPS. He had a triple, 2 doubles, 5 hits in 4 games. He actually had all 5 of those hits in both of his low A games. He actually went 0 for in the 2 rookie ball games this week. But on top of that, 2 walks and stole a base. So complete stud. Jordan Lawler's been doing all year. Move him up, D-backs. Time for high A at least. Just throw him at double A. Why not? Next up, Heston Kierstad hits his first professional home run. He's 23 years old, but he finally got it done. Oppo Taco. We've been talking a little bit about Heston recently. He just finally made his professional debut. He's the 2nd overall pick in the 2020 draft, but he's dealt with some injuries where he missed a lot of time. He has been destroying the ball since he's come back and made his debut. And this week, over 5 games, .450 batting average, .478 on base percentage, .1128 OPS. He had a home run, a double, 9 hits in 5 games, 5 RBIs, 2 walks. At 23 years old, he should be doing this at low A. They are starting him in low A. I'm betting with his performance, he's going to jump up to high A very quickly. Next player up, Grant McRae, over 6 games this week, .452 batting average, .471 on base percentage, .1406 OPS. He had 4 home runs, 3 doubles, 14 hits in 6 games, only walked once. He did get beaned, and he stole 4 bases. Absolute ridiculous week. We still have 3 more players ahead of him. Next up, Ryan Spikes is someone I haven't really talked about this year at all, making his recap debut. You know, there's some players that, you know, a little lower on the prospect list. This is one of them. Ryan Spikes was a 3rd-round pick back in the 2021 draft. He's only 19, just turned 19 about 100 days ago. But he's been playing well all year. He's hitting about 300 with a .400 on base percentage, and this week went crazy. Over 6 games, .458 batting average, .552 on base percentage, 1,000 slugging, .1552 OPS. He had 4 home runs, a double, 11 hits in 6 games, 7 RBIs on top of that. Walked 4 times, got beaned once, and stole a base. Wow. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I already bought a couple of his cards because I'm like, maybe he can be that good. We'll see. He's having a really good season at low A, and he's the right age, so we'll see. Might be a little sneaky 3rd-round pick. Besides Jordan Lawler, I think Edwin Arroyo has been just the best player at low A. He's been so good this year, and he's very impressive with his age, too. He's very young. Just moonshot. Edwin Arroyo, still 18 years old, 60 days until he turns 19. Over 5 games this week, .474 batting average, .546 on base percentage, .1053 slugging, .1598 OPS, 2 home runs, a triple, 3 doubles, 9 hits over 5 games, 4 RBIs, walked twice, got beaned once, stole a base. Like, this dude is legit. Definitely probably the best draft pick in the 21 draft class. You know, 2nd rounder, and he's been doing freakish things at low A. Absolutely love it. I think he's just below 1,000 OPS on the season. like high 900s. Whew. Edwin Arroyo, very impressive. He also has 12 home runs this year. And our MVP at low A, Blaze Jordan, has been on a different planet lately, everyone. Blaze Jordan this week, over 6 games, hit .560 with a .593 on base percentage, 1120 slugging, 1713 OPS. He had 4 home runs, 2 doubles, 14 hits in 6 games. Only walked twice. But hey, when you're hitting .560, I don't think you have to walk. There's no reason to walk if you're hitting over 500. Like, just ridiculous week. And it's been going on for about 2 straight weeks now. Check out this game log. We'll just show you guys here. We'll show the whole game log, pretty much starting from here. So over 13 games, he's hitting over 500 with almost a 1,500 OPS. Just insane streak that Blaze Jordan's on right now. Jumping into high A, Kobe Mile just crushes baseballs. Just crushes baseballs. He's been struggling a little bit this year with everything except for his power, but he had a good week this week. Mile this week, over 5 games, .316 batting average, .409 on base percentage, .988 OPS, but he did have that home run, 2 doubles, 6 hits in 5 games, walked twice on top of that, got beaned once. Kobe Mile is a player a lot of people love. He's a big kid, 4th rounder in 2020, by the way, 6'5", 215. Did really well last year in low A. Is struggling a little bit at high A this year, but he's got time. He's showing the power. Look for him to pick it up in the second half of the season. Next up, Colson Montgomery moved to high A already and hits an absolute screamer to right field here for his first high A home run. Colson Montgomery, he has been so good in the 2022 season. It's just been absolutely electric. Over 6 games this week, .500 batting average, .536 on base percentage, 1151 OPS. He had a home run. The rest of it was all singles, but he had 13 hits in 6 games, 5 RBIs, walked once, got beaned once. Colson Montgomery's the real deal. I've seen some very impressive hits already from him at high A, just some very impressive at-bats. Love Colson Montgomery, loved him in the draft. I thought the White Sox got him for a steal at 22. He has looked awesome, and he's raking in his first week at high A. And props to you, White Sox, for bringing up a player when they're ready to get brought up. Next up, teammate of Colson Montgomery, Oscar Colas, the number 2 prospect for the White Sox, just hits a no-doubter here. Ridiculous power. Oscar Colas, he is 23. He's a little bit older. He's almost 24, but he's the number 2 prospect in the White Sox system based on the MLB pipeline, so I did include him here. Over 6 games, .478 batting average, .539 on base percentage, 1191 OPS. He had a home run, a double, 11 hits in 6 games, walked 3 times on top of that. You know, I don't know much about Oscar Colas, but he's the number 2 prospect, and I'm going to start tracking him a little closer here. He is on the older side, though, so he should be putting up big numbers at high A at almost 24 years old. Next up, one of my favorites, and a lot of our favorites, Zach Veon, had a huge week. Over 6 games, .389 batting average, .500 on base percentage, 1389 OPS. He had a home run, a triple, 4 doubles, 7 hits in 6 games. Literally 6 of his 7 hits were extra base hits this week. He had 5 RBIs, 3 walks, got beaned once, stole 2 bases. Zach Veon is that dude. When he is playing well, he can do everything. 5-tool player, just absolutely ridiculous talent. And he showed it off this week. And a player a lot of people have forgotten about, Evan Carter wins MVP at high A for me this week. Absolutely ridiculous week, having a very solid season as well at Hickory. And just a line drive. Grand slam there. Evan Carter this week, over 6 games, .409 batting average, .536 on base percentage, 1399 OPS. He had a home run, 3 triples, a double, 9 hits in 6 games, walked 6 times, had 8 RBIs, stole 3 bases. Yo, he's only 19 years old, too, on top of that. Very young player still. He was the 2nd-round pick for the Rangers in the 2020 draft. And if you look at his season so far, he's not doing too bad. He's starting to pick it up as well. He's been really hot lately. Not too terrible with the .824 OPS. Next player up, Curtis Mead. And I know I usually throw home runs out here, but look at this catch. Whew. Curtis Mead with the web gem. Curtis Mead just continues to impress. 21-year-old out of Australia. Over 6 games this week, .304 batting average, .385 on base percentage, .993 OPS. He had 2 home runs, a double, 7 hits in 6 games, walked 3 times, stole 2 bases, made that insane catch. Curtis Mead can play. Very excited about him. Definitely a strong prospect in the Rays organization. Next up, my man's Brett Beatty goes way deep here to right center field. Brett Beatty's hot. Watch out, everyone. He's on fire. Brett Beatty this week over 6 games, 364 batting average, 500 on base percentage, 1,000 OPS. He had a home run, 8 hits in 6 games, walked 4 times on top of that, got beaned twice. Brett Beatty has really picked up his season. His season numbers are now looking at 282 batting average, 375 on base percentage, 820 OPS, 7 home runs. Very impressed with Brett Beatty right now. He's still only 22. We might see him with the Mets at the end of the year. We might. There's a chance. Next up, Jeremiah Jackson continues to rake at Double-A, and his power is just so surprising. Like, that just looked like a line drive down the line, and it carried out. Jeremiah Jackson over 6 games this week, 286 batting average, but a 423 on base percentage, 1090 OPS. He had 2 home runs, 2 doubles, 6 hits over 6 games, walked 5 times, which I love to see. Jeremiah Jackson has always been a guy who's had a lot of power. He just hasn't gone on base at a super high rate. Love the 5 walks. Absolutely love it. Solid week. Next up, Francisco Alvarez continues this just insane run he's been on the past probably 3-4 weeks now. The dude just keeps hitting homers. Francisco Alvarez over 6 games. He only hit 273 this week, but he did have a 429 on base percentage and an 1110 OPS. It was super elevated this week because 3 of his 6 hits were home runs. He had 7 RBIs, 6 walks, which I absolutely love. He's another guy who has struggled a little bit throughout his career with the on-base percentage, so love that. Pitchers are starting to pitch around him, and he's starting to figure it out. So, absolutely love that. Again, 20 years old, Francisco Alvarez. Great week. Next up, one of the guys we've seen a lot this year, Ezequiel Tovar. No home runs this week, so we don't got any video of him, but over 6 games, 480 batting average, 500 on base percentage, 1100 OPS. He had 3 doubles, 12 hits in 6 games, a walk on top of that, stole a base. I have been so impressed with Ezequiel Tovar this year. And our MVP at Double-A this week is going to be George Valera. Just smashes baseballs. He has been hitting some crazy exit velos. He hit 117 on a double this week. Over 6 games this week, George Valera hit 375 with a 444 on base percentage, 1111 OPS. He had a home run, a triple, 2 doubles, 9 hits in 6 games, 6 RBIs on top of that with 3 walks. George Valera can straight up play. Again, I've been saying it for a while. I believe he's MLB ready. I think it's just a matter of time before the Guardians just give him the call. Moving into AAA, Braden Shoemake is back in the lineup, and he torches this baseball. Braden Shoemake only played 2 games this week, so that's why I'm throwing him in the start of this AAA lineup. Over 2 games, hit 500 with a 556 on base percentage, 1431 OPS. He did have that home run, 4 hits in 2 games, had 2 RBIs. He walked once. Braden Shoemake, he's 24 years old. Again, you're going to see the elevated ages at AAA for the most part. First rounder back in 2019. Definitely looking like a solid prospect for the Braves. I'm curious what they're going to do with him, though. Like, I don't know if they're going to just replace Dansby with him or they're going to, I don't know, trade him because, or maybe he'll play third. No, he can't play third base. Austin Riley's there. So I don't know what they're going to do with him. Maybe a trade piece at the deadline. Next up, Michael Busch has just been on a tear. Since he's moved to AAA, this is his 7th home run, and again, another player I keep saying, MLB ready. Michael Busch this week over 5 games, only hit 211, and he only had a 286 on base percentage, but he had a 1023 OPS because he had 3 home runs. 3 of his 4 hits this week were home runs. He had 2 walks, and, you know, for a down week, a very down week in my opinion, he still had 1,000 OPS. Michael Busch is a very good player. Next up, Drew Waiters. Been a little hit or miss this year, but Oppo Taco here, he had an impressive week. Over 6 games this week, Drew Waiters hit 333 with a 407 on base percentage, a 1032 OPS. He had a home run, 2 triples, 8 hits in 6 games, walked 3 times on top of that, stole a base. Love Drew Waiters. I think he's a great piece for this Braves team. I don't know if he's ever going to be like an MVP type player, but I do think he's going to be a really strong just player for any organization he ends up with. Hopefully the Braves end up keeping him. Next up, Miguel Vargas just hits a moonshot to left field here. I feel like it went as high as it went far. Just crushed. Miguel Vargas over 6 games this week, 409 batting average, 500 on base percentage, 1136 OPS. He had a home run, 2 doubles, 9 hits in 6 games, walked 4 players, stole a base. Miguel Vargas is a stud and showed it this week. And my MVP at AAA this week and making his recap debut, Jordan Westbrook has been on an absolute tear since getting brought up to AAA. Jordan Westbrook, honestly, was kind of a reach in the first round of the 2020 draft. His college numbers were just okay, honestly. They weren't anything stellar, at least in my opinion. But he's been having a great professional career so far. He got moved to AAA very recently, about I don't know, probably 12, 15 games now at AAA. This week, over 6 games, 393 batting average, 414 on base percentage, 1164 OPS. He had 2 home runs, 4 doubles, 11 hits in 6 games. He also walked once and stole a base. So MVP in AAA for me. Love to see it. He is 23 because he was a college guy, but impressive week for Jordan Westbrook. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for the Week 12 minor league recap. Super fun week. Again, I think that was probably the best low-way week we've seen this far offensively. And then some other guys, some of the other levels, they just did all right. But, some good performances here and there. And, just a fun week in general. I can't wait to make this pitching recap because I do think we're going to see some strong pitching this month in that monthly recap coming up here next week. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys like this video, as always, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. If I missed anyone from June 19th and June 25th, please post their name and stat line down below so me and whoever's watching this video can check out who else balled out. All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. See ya!